Today we have another Dream Game video, and it's finally time to make some sort of a stunt park in the actual game, along with a couple other things that I'm very excited to show you guys, and all of it has to do with actual gameplay. Now, first things first, guys, the skate park, okay, or the stunt park we'll call it, since you're not actually skating. I wanted to originally put it in this corner of the city, clear out the buildings and put it here. And then I ran into a slight problem. I have worked pretty hard when it comes to the skyline of the game. I feel like it's the most important part of a city to have a nice skyline. From this angle, nothing looks empty. And from the angle across the map, you have the same thing. It doesn't look empty. So when we moved this skyscraper and this building, it really did just empty it out. And there was a weird gap in the skyline. I didn't like it at all. So I decided that part is not going to be the stunt park. We're going to go bottom corner for the stunt park. So we'll remove that placeholder part. And over here in the bottom corner, we're going to get rid of all of these buildings and replace it all with a pretty sick stunt park. Now, I will say, originally, I wasn't going to have a full park within the game. It was just going to be ramps around the map. But with how much people are loving it, I feel like it would be kind of a miss if we didn't put one in. I've got all the ramps still over here, so we need to take all of those, and they're not all gonna have boosts. Some will, some won't, and a bit later on, I can't say today because the scripter's probably not up to the task just yet, we're going to set the speed off of the boost ramps. What I mean by that is if you hit this boost ramp, it's gonna give you the perfect amount of speed to perfectly land into this boost ramp. We don't have that in the testing place, and I do think it's like just a huge thing that we're kind of missing out on. Now, I really like the setup of our test place, so I'm gonna pretty much copy it, and then of course just make it fit in with this environment, because there's not as much runway, like, at all. Let me get a little bit of a layout put together, and I'll see you guys when we start decorating and making it feel like an actual part of the map, instead of something kind of pasted into a spot. All right, guys, I just got the layout of the skate park done. It's gonna be a lot less ramps. I'm also being watched by Robo and Panda. Well, Robo is actually doing something sick. He's working on getting this ring of fire super optimized. Right now, it's a bunch of parts with a bunch of particles, and he's making it one part, one particle, and it's gonna look the exact same. Anyways, on to what I need to do. There is a lot less ramps than the test place because it just gets too packed too fast if we put too many in here. Now, we did have a cool idea over here, and it's gonna involve this building. Let me delete this one since it's just sort of a placeholder block out anyway. And we're gonna copy this building from over here because yes, guys, there will be some copy and pasted buildings. It is what it is. And then we'll flip this around. I don't know why it's missing all of the front. Is that the same over here? Am I just missing stuff? Okay, so I'll need to put those parts in someday. But for now, we're gonna have the front on this side, so it is a store slash apartment building, whatever you want it to be. And on this side, oh my, we are gonna have a little bit of fun. This mega ramp is gonna be on the top of the building, okay? I don't know, oh my, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna hit this one, which I am gonna make the speed booster on it absolutely ridiculous. Like if you hit this ramp, hopefully you'll fly up, land on this building, and then hit this ramp, and I'm gonna make it so if you land in a specific spot, it's going to then teleport you into like a huge cargo plane that you'll be able to jump out of and do flips all the way coming down to the ground, okay? It's nuts. It's a crazy idea, but for now, we're gonna try to get this onto this, which is going to take a bit of testing. Another few things I did was disable the boosts, except on the middle ramp. They do need to feel a bit more special than they did in the test place. I added a little hallway down here just for some variety. Maybe we'll add lights or something else, graffiti, something down here later. And then we have this whole little contraption. Then some small ramps on the sides. Now let's do our first playtest. I guess you guys get a little bit of a sneak peek on something else the two programmers, Panda and Robo, are working on, the mini-map. It's now circular, which I really wanted because it just feels so much more new. Anyways, let's hop on the bike, let's ride over to the stunt park and see if it's any good. Also, we have a lot more to do over there. It's not going to stay that bland. Trust and believe. It's coming together so well, man. The city, just everything. All right, here's the stunt park. I did remake this ramp, so it's a straight ramp. It looks like we did have a bit of one of the issues. Let's see. I'm probably gonna die here, but we're gonna try not to. Yeah, we hit the ring of fire. And I guess I didn't really think of this issue. Once you get down here, and break the bike, apparently. Well, that's definitely something, we're gonna have to look into. I'd say the ramps look okay. We're gonna need a way to get out, or I'll just make this floor take up the whole space down here and then block off the back of the ramps. But the next thing we need to do is make this look more like it belongs here. So I'm gonna take a snip and just draw something, whatever comes to mind, and see if we can get some sort of a cooler layout. Oh, yes, guys. Here is the idea, right? You're gonna be able to come in, let me red arrow. You're gonna be able to come in here and here. I guess I should make one where you could come in here as well. So we'll cut that out. We have 3 entrances, I guess 4 if we talk about this side too. And all of this is gonna be grass, okay? I think that's gonna help just solidify the idea of a park. And over here is gonna be grass as well. Now I'm horrible with terrain, so I'm gonna try to do it in blocks and then use part to terrain and hope for the best. I don't know if it's gonna work or not though. All right, guys, real quick, I wanted to test something. I forgot to anchor my grass parts because kind of in the middle of that, but can we make it to the top of the building? I just set this thing to 95. I think you could if you got enough speed. It seems like big landings cause like a little bit of a bug within the bike system itself. So we'll have to figure that out. Oh my gosh, and it doesn't overly like terrain, but I'm pretty sure the suspension at the moment is more of a visual thing and not actually helping the bike at all. But here it goes. 3rd gear. I think we got it. Backflip, double backflip. I want it to be hard, but I do think it is possible at the current state. Anyways, let's go ahead, part to terrain all of our grass parts here, and then we're gonna have to just like kind of erode them or subtract them away, because they are going to be kind of going over the curbs and the roads. At least they're pretty cool. Oh, these are way too tall. We need to sink them to where they're barely peeking out of the ground. Like just enough to be able to click on them. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Oh yeah, that's quite a bit better. I don't know why there's no grass on them. Yeah, I have grass selected. That's strange. I'll have to turn decoration back on. I guess it is on. All right, well, I'll figure that out later. I'm gonna take the terrain erode tool, or it's sculpt now, subtract strength very low, and I'm just gonna be cutting out the roads and the sidewalks like this. All right, guys, I got everything eroded. Now we're gonna go ahead and paint on top of this the grass, because for some reason, even though we were selecting grass, it wasn't having it. All right, it just wasn't having it at all. So we're gonna paint on top of all of this and all of this. I'm gonna have to paint a lot more clean too, because I can't just use grass fixer, as this part does go underneath the rest of them. We're getting the point across. All right, grass is all placed. The next thing we need to do is add in some trees. And guys, I think the trees are actually causing a little bit of an issue on performance. Now, these might not be the most optimized trees, and there's a reason big games like Jailbreak use a cone on top of a cylinder. So I am struggling to find the perfect balance of the realism that I want to have. Like I want to have I call it playful realism, right? I don't want the game to be a super low poly game that's all cartoony and cute. I want a little bit of that realer vibe. So I have to figure out how I can make like extremely optimized trees that also look good at the same time. If any of you guys could point me in the right direction, I would appreciate it a ton. Now, I am not the terrain artist for this game, so I will say when they get on and want to make the skate park terrain look a little bit better, and by a little bit I mean a lot, I'm sure that will help quite a bit. With the skate park or stunt park being, we'll say, done in air quotations, because once again we're probably gonna have to replace every tree on this map with a more optimized version, and the terrain artist is gonna need to hop in here and make this look just a little bit better. We can move on to some other stuff that I want to show you guys. Now, the first thing is super exciting to me, but might not be too much to you guys. A rotating mini-map. This is something I wanted just since the start of the game. Our previous map was just a square, and it's cool to have a mini-map in general, but when it actually rotates, it really does just liven up the HUD in the game. There's so many things we're doing to make the map feel more alive, even if nothing is really happening. One of those is, of course, this rotating minimap, and I think that is so, so cool. Everything else I have to show you guys is gonna be in the testing place. I do want to try to hit that ramp onto the top of the building one more time. I think that's gonna be so satisfying. Bro, just driving in the game, man. Oh my gosh. All right, we're good. Just driving in the game is so nice. All right, here it goes. Second gear. I think we got this. We're gonna front flip it. Oh, we would have landed on it, dude. Okay, so it's definitely possible. We're gonna have to angle the ramp a little bit. Definitely possible. We could leave it at that for now. Let's go into the testing place and show you guys some of the other really cool stuff. Number one, you guys can kind of see it on the screen now. The start to our garage, actually being able to customize stuff. And this is going to be super, super cool. Let me try to find our actual garage UI, and let's enable this. There we go, guys. Check it out. We're going to have a display of your bike's stats, the name, what type of bike it is, and then acceleration, top speed, and suspension are the stats for now, as well as a cute, brief description of the bike. Another thing is going to be customizing everything, guys. Chain color, titanium, fork parts, bars, grips, and this scrolls. As you can see, so much customization within the game, and I think it's just going to be absolutely awesome. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is something not a lot of games do, but we did feel like it was a little bit important for this one. Why are the bikes spawning the wrong way now? Like, what even happened? That's so random. Anyways, check this out. We have our bikes, and the UI I was trying to show you guys is disabled. Okay, I enabled it, and now the bikes aren't spawning. Anyways, here is the other thing I wanted to show you guys. Keybinds. You can now completely customize the game to however you want to play. If left control doesn't feel like it should be the wheelie button, you can click it and press any button on your keyboard. Maybe you want 6 to be the button. There you go. Now you just have to press 6 to do a wheelie. I personally like left control, so I'm gonna keep that. But having keybinds kind of lets you make the game however you want the game to be. So, keybinds. The garage is so close to being done. The stunt park in the actual game. And the rotating minimap. Guys, the dream game is really coming along. Bro, just look at this. It's gonna be so sick when it comes out, guys. Let's get into our 2 questions. Question number 1. How long did it take you in building until you considered yourself good at building? Guys, I think this is sort of a trap, right? Good is subjective, and a lot of people would still say I'm pretty bad. I think it's more or less the amount of time you spend per build, not how long you spent building. For example, 9 times out of 10, the uploads I do on this channel, the builds usually look bad, and that's because I can't spend a lot of time on them because I need to have a video every single day. However, the dream game, something I'm taking my time on, or let's say Selfie Simulator, that map that I'm remaking, that one looks pretty good too. You can actually see an accurate timeline. If you go to the start of this channel versus now, that's how long it took to be where I am now. I started this channel like 2 weeks after I downloaded Blender. Question number 2, what game are you the most proud of so far if we exclude the dream game? This is easy. UFO Universe. The game is closed down, okay, filled with bugs, but it was just like, bro, it was the first project I actually spent money on and spent time on. Like, I bought custom sound effects, got custom particles made. There was so much with the behind the scenes of that game. And I might even have to remake it someday. Find a scripter, get it back open because, dude, it was just so good. It was so good. That's it. UFO Universe. I promise someday it will be remade and back up. It was just, bro, it was so awesome. That's all I gotta say. Definitely UFO Universe. Anyways, that is gonna wrap it up for today. If you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.